Now, this news of the pontiff's death has also been keenly felt in the Pope's native Argentina. Isabel Debre is a senior correspondent for the Associated Press based in the capital, Buenos Aires. She joins us now. Before he was the Pope, Isabel, he was a priest ministering to the poor in neighborhoods of Buenos Aires. So how is Pope Francis being remembered?
He's being remembered with a lot right now of sorrow and grief. And we're seeing, President Javier Milei of Argentina declared a week of national mourning. Flags are flying at half-staff, and masses are happening all over the city of Buenos Aires, from Flores, his childhood church is right behind me, the working-class neighborhood of Flores, where Jorge Bergoglio grew up just down the street and went to this church and said that he found God here. And it's also happening in the cathedral in downtown Buenos Aires, where worshipers are coming with flowers and really trying to remember him for his greatest legacy, which, as you mentioned, was this outreach to the poor. And that's why I think that from our reporting so far today, I've seen the greatest emotional reaction in the impoverished neighborhoods of Buenos Aires, the southern suburbs that have been neglected throughout successive governments. And in these areas, there's not really dirt. There's just dirt roads, not really paved roads. There's rickety houses. And Pope Francis, when he was Archbishop Bergoglio, he devoted his time, his years to really creating a spiritual foundation in these communities, building up a cadre of priests that would follow in his footsteps. And he turned previously modest churches into community centers with gardens. And I was able to see that today, and people at these congregations in these pretty ramshackle neighborhoods was truly weeping for his memory, and said that they were really receiving the leading edge of that reputation we know so well of this really humble Pope.
Isabel, what is planned in the coming days by both political leaders in Argentina and religious leaders as well?
We're going to see more commemorations, more religious services, and it's interesting that you mentioned political leaders, because that has been a subject of intense debate here. As I mentioned, of course, the immediate reaction is sorrow and grief, but it's a little bit more complicated in Buenos Aires just because Argentina has had such polarized politics, and many people are also feeling a bit snubbed that Pope Francis, after becoming pontiff 12 years ago, never actually visited Argentina. He traveled all around the world. He actually went to all the neighboring countries, but he never went back to his native Argentina. And many analysts say that this is really because he didn't want to get caught up in those politics. Over many, many years, going back to when he was Archbishop, he clashed with different presidents. Then Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, when he was Archbishop, they clashed over many different issues. And now under Javier Milei, we're seeing that those tensions really come to a head. But as we mentioned, in this aftermath of death, it really is a moment of unity for Argentina.
Isabel, thank you so much. Isabel Debre of the Associated Press in Buenos Aires.